When I think back to my childhood and I think back of old school wrestling, I think of Bad News Brown. Will he ever be a Hall of Famer? I don't know. Yeah, a tough one. Very underutilized, in my honest opinion. He would have been an absolute superstar in the Attitude Era. He was good on the mic, and his ghetto blaster finisher was definitely cool. Does he rise to the Hall of Fame level? Maybe just, I don't know. Didn't make maybe a big enough splash. From what I'm able to gather, he was definitely, I think, safe to say, a legend in Calgary. All over, even to this very day. In the judo circles, I understand he was also very well known. But WWE, I don't know. I do remember, though, he was actually a very talented athlete. Legit tough man in real life, it seemed like. He started in, I believe, New Japan. He really got his persona and ring skills in Stampede Wrestling, where he worked with guys like, Bret Hart. Very memorable moment those two, I think, had in WrestleMania 2, that Battle Royal. He had a gimmick that was just too ahead of its time, I think, in WWF. Though I'm sure, like I said, it would have went over well in several of the territories. When I think, I'll go on to say this, I believe. My opinion, when Steve Austin changed from his original persona to the Stone Cold gimmick, I think many of the attributes, you could argue, were borrowed from Bad News. I think he would have made a great heel Intercontinental champ. And instead they gave him, gimmick, mid-card, pay-per-view storyline matches, that New York sewer rat match, and had him skip the IC scene and sent him straight to World Championship scene for kind of like a series of getting mercilessly, jobbed out to Hogan. And at that point, you could argue whenever you're working against Hogan, you're in for a little bit of a drop, kind of a end for heels who had no chance of turning face. Kind of that was the end all be all, if you get what I'm trying to say. At least. And I believe, too, I think that he was the one calling Hulk Hogan Hollywood Hogan for the first time, I think. So that might even be how Hollywood Hogan, started calling himself Hollywood Hogan. Who knows? But I remember just very underrated, very underutilized. And that type of attitude that he had, Bad News Brown, would have definitely been something, I think, to watch in the Attitude Era. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.